All right. I think we should be live now. I can check. I mean, I can see in the chat. All right. Nintendo Direct starting 25 minutes. How's everyone doing? How are we doing today? How's everyone doing? Should be live. All right, cool. Good. It worked this time. Last time, it was a whole thing. This time it worked. I don't know. The whole thing with streaming is weird. I'm telling you, even when everything looks like it lines up, it still doesn't work for some reason. Okay. How's everyone going? Bad Gamer, Nation Harris, Ruiz. All right, cool. I see everyone in here in the chat. Awesome. So we have a 40-minute direct. We already had some stuff leak out. I went a few minutes earlier just because I figured, hey, if there's some issues, I'll at least have a couple of minutes to resolve it, and go figure, no issues. So that's the way it goes. It's fine though. Okay. Let me pull up the link itself, and I'll put it online just so people know what's what. And I'll come back around here to the live chat. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about what we can expect to see here a bit. Some stuff did leak out, but it's not really unexpected. Like, it's nothing too unexpected, I would say. It's stuff that we had talked about this morning on Newswave even. So, nothing too surprising so far anyway, but there are also some rumors and some speculation around an interesting trilogy of games, I'll say. All right, here we go. And then I will drop... oh, okay, that works. All right, let me put that in there. Nintendo Direct. Boom. Okay. Good. Let me bring that up here. I feel like it's easier to just see the chat here. Okay. I see everyone now. There we go. All right. Thanks to Dark Type, member for 20 months. That's a long time. Thoughts on the possibility of any games from Xbox or PlayStation coming to the Switch via the cloud? Xbox is more likely than PlayStation, I would say. If they could ever figure out that whole xCloud thing, that would be ideal. I think that'd be great to have kind of the Xbox first-party library. Even through cloud streaming, it's something, to have. Rasmussen, let's go. Meme Brick. Einhander ship for Smash. Wow, you went back for that one. Love Machine, you may have answered this, but are we going to get Xenoblade 3 or Bayonetta 3? I believe we're going to see Bayonetta 3. I think that is going to be here. That was part of the leaks, but it was from Nintendo Japan, and it was just them updating their website. So it appears that Bayonetta 3 is at least set for 2022. Doesn't mean that it's going to be here, though. So just putting that out there. It's something that was updated on their site. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be at this direct, because it could be end of next year, and maybe that's something we see at E3 next. You know what I mean? It could be E3 next year. Platinum, shaky ground right now. So I feel like showing Bayonetta 3 here would be good to kind of raise some of the confidence around Platinum. Extremulus, thanks for becoming a member. So that's my thought with this whole thing, is like, let's show Bayonetta 3. All right, let's do that. I think that would be ideal. Okay, so there's speculation around some other games right now. Yeah, people are already saying in the chat. There appears to be a Kirby game as well, which we talked about this before, because it had been mentioned by the producer of the series that they were working on a game for Kirby. I don't know if it's going to be a 3D Kirby. That's what I want to see. I want to see something different. Kirby Star Allies, I feel like, is a game that everyone already forgot about. Like, it did not leave much of an impression overall. I think Kirby fans enjoyed it, but I feel like it was a very safe entry in the Kirby series. Kaiju says Nintendo cease and desist letter for the Final Fighter. Nintendo has to send a cease and desist letter to themselves for leaking that thing out. They're leaking their commercials over here. TOS God says, Metroid Prime Trilogy, yeah or nay? All right, so this is part of the speculation that's going on right now. And I actually like the idea of this. So it would also make a little bit of sense. Because remember, a while back, there was a lot of talk around Metroid Prime Trilogy. And the reason for that is there had been word that Nintendo was essentially ready to even release the game. Like, it sounded like originally it was less of this ambitious port. And they were just going to kind of put it out to get people ready for Metroid Prime 4. But we saw what happened with Metroid Prime 4. Some problems there. Unexpected problems, is what I'll say. It kind of sounds like, based on rumors and speculation now, Nintendo may have changed course, and maybe Metroid Prime got a bit more of a remake treatment. That would be interesting. I would be curious what that would look like on the Switch. Lee says, hey, Spawn, watching from Manchester. Wow, we love your channel, Lee and Mark. Thanks. Thanks, Lee and Mark. Appreciate that. Patrick, was Dragon Quest 4, 5, and 6 to the Switch, please. Low10 says, Middle East, Europe. People in the chat, I'm here, but not really. This direct is later than normal. Yeah. I know in, like, Europe, it's midnight or 1 a.m. there. This, depending on, I guess, where you are in Europe. But, yeah, it's later than usual. But this is what it was 2 Septembers ago. Last September, we had a mini and we had Pokemon Direct. That kind of filled up the month. And then I think we had another direct as well in there. But this is like the big general direct, and this is the same exact time they had it, September 2019. Symphonic Balance, not expecting much, so hopefully can be surprised. That's a good way to go about this. The bad gamer games that will make me happy. Metroid Prime Trilogy, Mega Man Battle Network Collection, Bayo 3, Xenoblade 3, and the export, and maybe Cast. Wow, that's quite the lineup there. I feel like I was seeing a lot of lists being made, and I get concerned when I see these lists because sometimes I'll look at it and say, I don't know how they're going to fit that much stuff into a 40-minute block of commercials, especially if they want to spend like 5 or 10 minutes on something. Like, how long, let's say they're doing a Nintendo Switch Online update. It's Nintendo 64, it's Game Boy Color, all of this. And maybe they also have talk about different tier for the Nintendo Switch Online. How long do you think that's going to take? Because I'm kind of thinking that might take 5 to 10 minutes just to go over in general, especially if they have a lineup of titles they may want to show off a bit. Just saying, I think we try to jam a lot into 40 minutes sometimes. And there are also, of course, games that people don't necessarily care about. They gloss over and they kind of fall asleep at the times. And a great example is Sony's latest show. They had a block at the end. 10 minutes. It was just nonstop. Big budget, awesome looking games. But there was like 20 minutes of just... I saw it in the chat. People were kind of like falling asleep. So you got to expect those parts of like these showcases as well, where there's going to be some downtime. Games that essentially don't click for everyone, or games that people aren't necessarily showing up to the direct to see. Truly Epic says, ever thought of adding more shows to the Spawn Wave channel rather than just Newswave and Spawncast? Really enjoy the content, by the way. Yes, I do. I actually had the idea at one point of continuing to build on Newswave and get it to where I have like a 1 or 2 minute review packed in there for a game that maybe I had played, and I'm like, I'll throw it in there. Kind of like how we had, like X-Play, for example, had a portion where it was like 3 or 4 minutes, and it was a review. It was like a voiced written review, and they would go over different PlayStation 2, GameCube, and original Xbox games, because that's what we had back then. And I like that idea. Like, I'm almost done Kena, and it's an awesome game. So, like, I wouldn't mind just throwing that in there and being like, oh, I'll voice over a review that I put together 2 or 3 minutes, and it just cuts to it during Newswave. Maybe before, like, the end, like where you do poll and all that. And just continue to build out that show. I like the idea of having like just a show that goes up in the morning. That's mostly, unless there's some crazy off the wall stuff that happens that day. Like Nintendo shows up and is like, here's our next generation Switch, or Sony talks about a PS5 Pro, or something that makes you go, okay, well, I have to go over this here soon. So I also have that the Spawn Wave Plus channel that I like posting on when I get extra stuff as well. I bounced off of Arise, and then I went back to it after I finished Deathloop. And then now I'm on Akena, and I want to go back to Tales of Arise, because that's going to be a game that I've been playing for a while, since it's a very long game. But the Halo flight is going to be happening here soon, and we're going to be playing against actual people. So now I'm bouncing to that, since I'm almost done Kena, so... Jacob says, having some coffee, milk, and hot wieners. Lotan says, sorry, this is off topic. You were doing podcasts one-on-one with people. Are you still doing it? I really enjoyed them. Yeah, I am going to continue to do those. I have a few people that I have some interest in some parts about the industry as well, and I wouldn't mind sitting down with people one-on-one for that. Had some stuff coming up here pretty soon, like there's a convention at Too Many Games we're going to be heading out to. So there's been a lot of stuff getting set up there as well. But I'm going to be doing more of those podcasts as well. Hayden says, why do you tease us with that midweek Spawncast live yesterday? Got excited. I think Evan accidentally went live on like the wrong stream key, and that's how that happened. Evan does a lot of stuff, so it probably like slipped his mind, or he hadn't slept in a while or something. I don't know. Symphonic Balance, at the end of the year, have you thought about having a Spawncast topic where you reflect on some of the polls you're doing through the year? That's not a bad idea. Just go through them. I can just kind of scroll through all the polls we've been doing. That'd be fun. The one that still blows my mind is that 35% of people hadn't played GTA 5 or Skyrim yet. And it's like, wow. I feel like we've seen those released so many times now. Scott says, happy Thursday. Nathan says, saying hello from Long Beach, California. Enjoying your TechWave content, listening to Newswave as I drive to my college courses. Keep up the good work. Awesome. I like the idea of people just being able to tune into Newswave and get all the news while they're doing other things as well. So that I feel like it maybe saves people some time in the day, you know. Let me see. Nifty says, did you notice a change in your retention when adding timestamps to Newswave, like in the description? I feel like it might cause some people to skip parts of the video. Either way, thanks for the daily news. I didn't really notice too much of a difference. I think they are probably just convenient for people, so I figured we'll throw them in there just to help people out with it. I try to cover like all kinds of stuff in games, so I know there's not always gonna be stuff that people are that interested in. Commander Kronk says, please, Castlevania Advanced Collection announcement. I think that's going to be here. I do. Laser says, join Odyssey. Great platform for creators. I'll check it out. I do believe that it's going to be here, though, the Castlevania Collection. Addie's World, I own GTA 5 and Skyrim, but have never played either of them. I just got them when they were on sale. Well, it's just in the backlog. I should have said, have you bought it before? Maybe that's what I asked. That's the real question. Have you bought Skyrim or have you bought GTA 5? Because I know we build up our backlogs a lot. So I don't know, Carlos. The Spawnwave Video Game Awards. Maybe we'll try that again this year. We'll see. I've thought about that a couple of times. It sounds like a fun idea on paper, and then it ends up being like mass chaos in the background. Chris says, listening while stalking at work. Oh, good. It's nice if they let you do that, because you can just listen to podcasts and all kinds of stuff. That's great. Lee says, hey, Spawn, any plans to come to the UK? I haven't really thought about it. That'll be interesting. I've never really left the US, so that'd be fun to like go to different parts of the world. Edward says, your unboxing and take apart videos got me hooked. Cheers. Awesome. Jeff says, N64, Game Boy, or both. You know, I'd like to just say they do both and just put it out there, because Game Boy sounds cool if Nintendo gets the library correct, even the initial offerings. Like, if they get a Pokemon game, Pokemon Yellow, for example, something like that on there, I feel like it'll be more exciting to people than if they show up with some, like, basic games that people won't necessarily care as much about. They need a heavy hitter in, like, the Game Boy lineup. But, like, the Nintendo 64 with online play, I mean, that would be fun, right? So that's what I would like to see, is just both of them thrown in there. Honda says, thanks for streaming the watch along, John. Always enjoy doing streams for these bigger, like, showcases, direct, and all of that. I'm not really a streamer, but it is fun, so. It is fun. See, that's the other thing. I see someone like to play. My house says, I like listening to Newswave while playing Minecraft. I'll listen to like podcasts and stuff while I'm playing games too. I live for retro. Wonder whatever happened to the Cuphead DLC. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. That just kind of disappeared, didn't it? George says, still working my way through Skyward Sword and then on to Scarlet Nexus. My backlog is about to fill up with this direct. Yeah, I feel like Nintendo could have another release or reveal for this year. Like, I kind of wonder if they're going to try to slot something in for holiday 2021. Slipcover says, can't wait for too many games. It should be a lot of fun. I'm going there looking for some GameCube stuff. I've held off a bit, hoping that I can go there and get some okay deals. The retro market's tough right now, so. Matanumi says, your channel has improved greatly, and it's very cool to see you stay in shape. Please do more spawn points when you have the time. Sir Rick says, I watch every day on my lunch break. Drives to and from. Perfect amount of time. That's good. I try to keep it under 20 minutes if I can. Antony says, what would be a Twitter breaking announcement? Be a Twitter breaking announcement. That's a good question. It would probably be the Smash Fighter. Like, if they did something wild with a crossover. Like, if it... Okay, so if the Smash character is Master Chief, Sora, Goku... Those would be the three that would probably break Twitter. Because Steve broke Twitter, but I feel like a crossover like Goku or Sora would do it too. Or Master Chief, just because the implications of Microsoft. And I guess just like people look at Master Chief as the Xbox's icon, and then it's like in Smash. So that'd be strange. It'd be fun though. M says, what would be your 3 dream games they could show? Mother 3, that'd be cool to just drop that on there and say, here it is. Physical copy though, of course. Physical copy. That's probably the big one. Been a fan since the couch days. Salute on 600K. It's from Andrew. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Fernando says, work, don't let me listen to our phones, but my supervisor allows it for directs and showcases. There you go. See, they know the importance of this very long commercial we're about to watch. Cosmony says, no message there. Thanks, Cosmony. Juice Man Vaughn says, what's up, John? Congrats on 600K. Thanks, Juice Man Vaughn. Appreciate it. HB Mento, best part of a direct, the R34 content afterwards. The internet is certainly the internet. Our Fogo says, hope for Disco Elysium. Thing got rated recently. Yeah, that's supposed to be heading to the Switch here pretty soon, so I wouldn't be surprised. Brett says, I would love more physical GameCube games, but they are so expensive. I just hacked my Wii to play them. I wonder if prices will ever go down. I'd like to think they will someday, because the GameCube collector's market is tough right now, and there are some legitimately good games on there that have aged actually better than you would expect. But it's tough. It's tough. And right now it seems like people are very interested in pumping the retro market up heavily right now. And people are questioning the legitimacy of that. I understand. And it's like that Sonic 9.4 and the whole front's all torn up. So I've been keeping a close eye on sealed GameCube games that are graded by WATA. I think those could get absolutely out of control, and that would be unfortunate. Brett says, I love more physical games. Yep. Kevin, no message there. Thanks, Kevin. Zalty says, will you be at Too Many Games Friday or just Saturday? Look forward to seeing you all. Thanks for all the videos you do. I'm trying to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but probably later on Friday. I'm going to pick up the Switch OLED that morning, do some videos, get them set up for the weekend. So I'm going to do an unboxing, and we'll probably open it up a little bit and check it out. Skylar says, what happened to the giveaways you used to do? I did them for a little bit, but YouTube actually got mad because I did, we used Gleam, I think, and like YouTube like struck the channel. I was like, all right then. So I was going to look into doing different ways of doing giveaways, and I tried Gleam again recently, and it kind of worked. So that strike they gave me took like 3 months to come off. So I'm feeling a little more courageous now that strike's gone. Crunt says, yo, Pink Gorilla repair guy here watching you while fixing PSPs. PSPs, those were always fun. This is from Reezy saying, Newswave is only constant my life down under here in Australia. Did you see they changed the confidentiality date for that controller to October? Yeah, I was wondering if that 64 stuff won't be announced here, but this seems like the right place to do it. So I don't know. Maybe it's not coming out till then. Art Attack says, I hope Twilight Princess Wind Waker is shown, but we can all dream. I kind of think they're still going to do that. So it seems like now would be a good time to do it. And that's a good one to drop in, kind of like where we had Bowser's Fury earlier this year. Drop that collection into February. I think that's a good spot for it. Caddy says, do you come from a land down under where women glow and men plunder? You better run. You better take cover. Rascal says, did you see the Review Tech USA vid on Dreamcast Guy? What are your thoughts? I don't know. I didn't see that video. I didn't watch that video. I saw it pop up. I haven't watched it, though. Sorry, I had like a brain freeze there for a minute. I was like, Review Tech USA and Dreamcast Guy. Oh. Yeah, I saw it pop up on Twitter. I haven't watched it yet, though. For Rich. I think it's like almost 30 minutes long, so I'd have to have some time to check that out. Michael says, will you cover Dragon Ball Super when it comes back on like you did way back in the day? It's actually how I found your channel. Now instead of morning coffee, I have to have my morning Newswave fix. I don't know. I wouldn't mind doing more Dragon Ball stuff. Maybe I'll do that on Spawnwave Plus. I'm a big fan of watching Dragon Ball Super. I'd watch that like every week and just talk about it. And I enjoyed the Tournament of Power and all of those things they were doing. I assume Dragon Ball Super comes back. They're going to go through the... I almost wonder if they're going to go through the Broly arc, how they did that in the movie. And I don't know. That'll be interesting. Or if they'll just go right to what they did with Moro. I hope they just go right to Moro. I understand that Broly sells well for them and it's easy to advertise, but like, let's get Moro into the canon here for anime. Eshin says, I actually love your daily video upload time matches with my evening coffee break. Awesome. Keep up the good work. It's interesting to hear that some people wake up to Newswave, other people watch it like, you know, on their lunch break, and then some like check it out at night. So it's interesting. Charles says, I'm listening to you while I drive and I can't look at the screen. Anything you can point out that they don't mention is appreciated. Gotcha. Lotan's a member for 6 months. Wow. Happy 600K. The channel deserves 1 million. I'll get there someday. It's a marathon. It's a marathon, but you know, someday we'll get there. I do appreciate that though, Lotan. 43 says, was in Best Buy today and Switches were $275. Should be picking those up then. Addie's World says, Sealed Genesis games are impossible to find in good condition because the seals are terrible, so that's why they're so expensive graded. That makes sense. Cosby says, my parrot shuts up only when I put your videos on. We are 2 minutes out. We will check sound levels, all of this. All right. So when that comes on, we'll check all the sound levels and all of that. I'm actually going to try to write down any of the things going on with Newswave with the Direct as well for Newswave tomorrow. And then what we'll do is at the end, we'll do some of my immediate impressions and thoughts as well, like I did with the Sony showcase. And I'll probably post them up on the second channel too. Rascal says, why hasn't anyone been talking about Advance Wars? Imagine a new entry coming since the collection is coming. That'd be cool if they did that. I think they're kind of testing the water to see if people still remember it. So Scott says, I listen to Newswave while starting work. Oh, awesome. All right. And yep, 5:59. So we'll test some of the audio here. So I have that set here. And it should be starting any minute now. Move this over here. Got my Nintendo Direct notes set up. You guys have to let me know about the audio and all of that, the sound, so I can make sure it's balanced. Sometimes like it's hard to judge. Sometimes like the YouTube video, the stream is like really loud, and other times like really quiet, especially when they talk. Like they're whispering, but then they'll blast like a trailer and like, of course, licensed music, and it's super loud. Excited for Ubisoft to tell us about Just Dance and get the whole thing copyright struck. Here we go. Okay, Rain Penny Mature. All right, so expecting Bayonetta. All right, that's the key. Expecting Bayonetta here. Here we go. Sound is pretty loud, I guess. So let me know how we're looking here. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Interesting. Is that just a full... Okay, so Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. I mean, that's a good way to open it with... Sunbreak. Is that just like a whole... Okay, it is. It's a massive expansion. Summer 2022.
Hello everyone, I'm Yoshiaki Koizumi, and I'll be your guide for today's Nintendo Direct. What you just saw was the first trailer for Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak, the massive expansion for Monster Hunter Rise. Our friends at Capcom are working on many new elements that will enhance the experience for players of Monster Hunter Rise, including new stories, locales, monsters, and, although not touched on in the trailer, new hunting actions and quest rank. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is scheduled to release as paid DLC in summer 2022. Please stay tuned for more information in the future. Alright, let's see our first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
We're good with volume.
Party during the day or at night. It's almost time to party in the Mario Party Superstars game. Along with Spaceland and Peach's birthday cake, several other boards make their return. Take a stroll around Woody Woods, but watch out for those Monty moles. They'll change the board's direction when you least expect it. Travel between two islands and Yoshi's tropical island. Toadette's got the star, but she might swap places with Bowser at the last second. Party day and night in Horrorland. That King Boo statue is harmless during the day, but at night, it'll swipe stars from unsuspecting players. Need a break from boards? Head to Mount Minigames and play in minigame-only courses. Compete against players worldwide for the longest win streak in
Mario
survival,
Party everyone wanted.
or work together in the cooperative multiplayer tag match. Mount Minigames will have 7 courses available. All boards and minigames support online play. So invite family, friends, and frenemies, and get ready for the party of a lifetime. Mario Party Superstars launches on the Nintendo Switch system October 29th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. A new RPG is in the cards.
Welcome to Voice of Cards.
At the Queen's behest, you'll set off on a fantastical journey to slay a fearsome dragon for honor and fortune. Everything in this realm is represented as cards, from the protagonists to shops, towns, and environments. In this fresh take
it could actually be like a tabletop
RPGs,
card
you'll
game.
square off in turn-based card
Like a physical one that you
battles where
buy.
your skills and a little bit of luck will determine the victor. A spellbinding experience from the creative minds of Yoko Taro and Yosuke Saito is about to unfold. Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars launches on Nintendo Switch October 28th. Pre-orders and a free demo will be available today on Nintendo eShop.
So there's the first thing announced for that's from Square. Interesting.
Become a hero or an absolute disaster of a human being.
Who was asking for Disco Elysium? There you go.
You awaken in a hotel room in the city of Revachol.
What's that? It's like the director's cut, the final cut, right?
Soon, you learn that you're a detective and get entangled in a strange murder case in the groundbreaking role-playing adventure Disco Elysium, the final
That's a good
cut.
announcement.
As you interrogate people and uncover clues, internal dialogues will begin. To investigate, you'll need the help of the 24 skills living within you. Your behaviors and available choices will change depending on how you develop these skills, directly impacting how the story progresses. What sort of detective will you become? Disco Elysium, the final cut, launches digitally on Nintendo Switch October 12th. The physical
12th?
version of the game will launch early 2022. Pre-orders for the digital version begin today on Nintendo eShop.
And they do that all the time, don't they?
Uncover more stories in
Man.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Okay. They do that physical, like, coming later all the time.
And about that courageous friend of yours, it seems I owe him as well.
The King of Hyrule must not fall!
You know, you're pretty good for a little kid.
We'd better partner up on this, don't you think?
They won't harm you.
Behold our power!
Take that! Click
Time for the show! Oh yeah!
October 29th, Wave 2. Okay. Same day as Mario Party.
Ready, set, Chocobo! Start
Chocobo
your
racing.
engines and get set for a new racing
Chocobo GP.
experience.
What?
Race as familiar Final Fantasy characters like Chocobo and Gilgamesh to be the first across the finish line.
Is this like... Is this
Edge
Final
out the
Fantasy
competition by
Kart?
using drift boost to cut corners. Magical stones called Magicites are contained inside items. Collect these throughout courses to cast magic like fire and arrow to blast away opponents.
It's just... It looks like...
Acquire Magicites of the same element to cast even more powerful spells.
It really does look like Final Fantasy Kart. Like...
Each racer also has a special
I
ability.
mean, if you're
Use it
square,
at the
why
right
not?
time
Mario
to
Kart
turn
works.
the tables. Engine customization options will be available, as well as local and online multiplayer. Up to 64 players can compete in a bracket-style tournament to determine the racing champion. Chocobo GP races exclusively onto Nintendo Switch
Okay.
next year.
What
That's
did
funny.
you think? Before we show you our next video, we have some news about the last fighter
all right,
for the
there we
Super
go.
Smash Bros. Ultimate game. Mr. Sakurai, the game's director, will reveal this fighter in the final Mr. Sakurai Presents video
Wow,
on
final
October
one.
5th. He'll also show you how to use this fighter, so please look forward to it.
There it is. All right.
It's been about 3 years since the game was released. This will be the last presentation about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That's
I
it.
hope you'll check it out.
That really will be it. That's going to be interesting.
Next,
Is that going to be the
please
last
take a
time we
look
see
at this.
Sakurai at all? Like, huh. That's interesting. I guess that is a big enough deal to where you go, you know what? You get your own, like, thing for that. It's Kirby. All right, so let's see what Kirby game this is. 3D Kirby, come on. Don't just be 2D Kirby. It already looks different, so... It is 3D. All right, good. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Okay, so it is a 3D Kirby game. Oh, this looks... Oh, okay, so they have, like, the rotating perspectives. Okay, I'll give... For what we usually get from the Kirby team, this looks great. It's exactly the direction I wanted Kirby to go in. I mean, it still looks like a Kirby game, but being 3D like this. I mean, that's a big deal for the Kirby franchise. Like, that's a good announcement. I like them changing things up with that. Much like if that was just a 2D Kirby game, you'd be like, I guess. A big
That was the
3D
trailer
Kirby
for
game
Kirby
coming
and
out
the
spring
Forgotten
2022. I like it.
In this new game, you can
I like
freely
it.
move around in 3D areas using familiar Kirby moves. The setting also appears to be mysterious, filled with abandoned structures from a
carnival.
past
Theme
civilization.
park, yeah.
What lies in store for Kirby? The game is scheduled to release in spring 2022. We hope you'll look forward to Kirby's new adventure.
Yeah, that's big for Kirby. That's good.
Next, we have this to show you. Please take a look.
Oh, Animal Crossing. I have seen people talk about lacking content for this game, and I'll admit I fell out of Animal Crossing, so I'm not sure that the scene around Animal Crossing currently, the state of Animal Crossing. Oh, there's Animal Crossing Direct. Did they just announce a Direct in a Direct?
Since its launch in 2020, the Animal Crossing New Horizons game has been enjoyed by many players around the world. New free content will arrive in November. In preparation for its release, we will be airing an Animal Crossing New Horizons Direct in October. In it, we'll go over the content in more detail.
I like that, though. Direct in a Direct.
Please be on the lookout for
So
the air
they-
date of this presentation.
They've announced 2 events in this Direct so far. Sakurai
Let's move
presents
on to
Animal
more
Crossing
Nintendo
Direct.
Switch headlines.
2 games, 1 game update, and lots of fun. 4 more free content is
Expected.
coming to the Mario Golf
Mario
Super
Golf.
Rush game. Koopa Troopa enters the fairway as a playable character. Dish out tricky shots and dashes to mess with the competition. Ninja will also be playable. Take advantage of Ninja's blinding speed to outpace opponents. 2 courses are also being added. These additions will come swinging in
Today.
as a
Okay.
free software update later today. What's
All right, very
this?
good.
An invitation. You're invited to live in a magical world with Mickey Mouse and dozens of Disney characters. Spend time with Disney friends. Craft your own whimsical costumes
Disney
and
Magical
furniture,
World 2?
and explore
right,
delightful
there you go.
Disney-themed worlds. All downloadable content from the original Nintendo 3DS version is included. Disney Magical World 2 Enchanted Edition soars onto Nintendo Switch this holiday.
There you go.
A beloved Star
Wait a
Wars
minute.
game is coming to Nintendo
Nice.
Switch.
Wait, hold on. They're bringing
Blast
Nice
off
Republic
to
over
captivating
now?
planets and join forces with Jedi,
What
droids,
what?
and outcasts in this blend of action, role-playing, and adventure.
I mean, that's
will
cool,
you use
but
the
like,
Force for good, or will you be lured to the dark side? Your choices determine the galaxy's fate in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, launching on Nintendo Switch November 11th.
sure.
Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
Awesome game. Absolutely.
There's one thing you must always
Yep.
remember.
All right, so
Stay human. This is the city, humanity's last stronghold against a virus that turns
just Dying
people
Light.
into the undead.
It's just
In
Dying
the
Light
cloud version
1,
of
right?
Dying Light 2, Stay
Oh,
Human,
they're
you'll
doing
need to
a
master
cloud
both
version of
parkour
Dying Light
and
2.
tactical combat to survive in this
Okay.
brutal open-world action RPG.
Kind of expected.
Explore alone. Or with
got
up to
delayed
3
to
other
next
players
year?
in Online co-op as you unravel the dark secrets of
I-
those in
I-
power during the day.
I saw Stay
Then
Human. I'm
plunder
like, that's the
layers of
second game.
infected at night.
Cloud
Your
version,
decisions
yeah.
will shape the story, but they'll also
Makes
have
sense.
consequences.
The first one's going to be
No
on the
matter
system
where
natively,
your actions
though.
lead you, there's one thing you must always remember: stay human. While you're at it, take the prequel
Yep,
on the
so
go.
we know
in
Dying Light. Yeah.
Platinum Edition. Scavenge for supplies, craft
I don't think we
weapons,
have a release date
and
on that
face
yet.
hordes of the
thought it
infected
said October,
in a
though.
post-apocalyptic open world. Dying Light 2 Stay Human Cloud version launches on Nintendo Switch February 4th, 2022.
Yep, we know
a
that.
free demo will also launch the same day on Nintendo eShop. Dying Light Platinum Edition comes to Nintendo Switch October 19th. Pre-orders
gonna be
begin
strange.
today on Nintendo eShop.
Because the first one,
Utility,
It's native.
morality,
the second one's
or liberty.
cloud.
In Triangle Strategy, a fiery chronicle of war
They called
presented
it
in
Triangle
stunning
Strategy.
HD 2D.
They just got rid of
Your
projects.
actions will lead you through a riveting story that changes based on the
okay.
decisions you
That's
make.
the actual name.
In the end, where will your conviction guide you?
You have gone to the one place I cannot follow.
I mean, this looks
In
great.
response to the survey about the demo released in February of this year, the game has been fine-tuned with a focus on elements that received lots of feedback. These include adjustments to the difficulty, improvements to on-screen visuals, camera angle controls, the ability to review previous dialogue, and streamlined game flow and loading times.
If I'm not getting a new Final
More
Fantasy
details
Tactics,
are now
this is the
available
closest
on
I'm getting.
Nintendo.com.
And it looks amazing.
Triangle Strategy will launch on Nintendo
Oh,
Switch
okay.
March 4th,
Got a
2022.
release date.
Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo
Awesome.
eShop.
Oh, okay.
You are faced with overwhelming power. Your highest priority should be simply to survive.
And sell 3 million.
There may be a very small opportunity to escape. Don't let your guard down.
It looks it looks so good. Looks 3 million and 1 good.
Samus Aran,
You know what this game could use?
bounty hunter in the
Is a
galaxy,
demo.
embarks on a new mission to the
Just
uncharted
something small to
planet
drop
ZDR.
on the Switch.
Her objectives? Confirm whether the deadly X-parasite still exists.
Just to help.
And figure out why the EMI research robots in search of it have mysteriously gone dark. Early readings.
The thing I've
reveal
noticed
that
about this
planet
game,
ZDR
the
is divided
animation
into multiple environments.
For the character itself stands out
with
so
its own
much. Like it's so high
and
quality.
organisms. Remnants of the mighty Chozo civilization are also scattered throughout, including evidence that the Chozo may have once called the planet their home. Visit Metroid.Nintendo.com to read Metroid Dread Report Volume 8 for a detailed account of the terrain and life forms you may encounter in the Metroid Dread game.
Metroid Dread.
Be sure to view the other Metroid Dread reports there as well. You'll want to prepare yourself for the dangers that lie ahead.
Metroid Dread launches on Nintendo Switch October 8th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
How was that? Up next, we have news about Nintendo Switch Online.
There we go. Okay.
Many people have been using Nintendo Switch Online since it launched in September 2018. In addition to the current membership, we'll be adding a new membership plan.
There it is. I knew it. All right. I knew it.
As a part of this
New
new
tier.
plan's content,
Drop N64. There it is. All right. Nintendo 64 is coming.
you'll be able to play a collection of Nintendo 64 games.
Yoshi Story.
The
Dr.
Nintendo
Mario.
64 system launched 25 years ago.
Star
I think
Fox.
the system gave many players their first 3D gaming experiences,
Oh.
as well as intense
Mario
4-player
Kart?
multiplayer action. With Nintendo Switch, up to 4 people can play
Mario Tennis.
select
Oh,
Nintendo
Mario Tennis is
64
great.
games locally or online.
Sure.
Also, with this new membership plan, in addition to the Nintendo 64 games,
Genesis. Interesting. That's
you can play a
interesting.
collection of games from Sega's Genesis system.
And Sega Genesis.
This means you'll be able to play these classic games whenever and wherever you'd like.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
The new plan will include all elements of the base Nintendo Switch Online membership,
Wait, who said Winback? Was
as well as the ability to play the
mentioned
included
Winback?
Nintendo 64 and Genesis games. This is Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack.
Hey, they use the expansion pack name. You know what? I'm okay with
This
that.
new membership plan will be added in late October. Of course, you'll still be able to continue using the existing plans. Also, those who have an existing membership plan can change over to the new plan. We'll share more details about this
How
new
much more do you
membership
think this is
plan
gonna
at a
be?
later
Do you think
time,
this is 30?
including the exact release date and pricing
Or do you
information.
think this is 40?
For now, however, we'd like to announce the games that will be available when it launches.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, there we
You'll
go.
be
The
able to play
Winback.
the Nintendo
Tell me I
64
didn't say
games shown
Winback.
here,
Tell me I didn't say they were going to pick some weird game.
as well as these Genesis games.
Fancy Star. Bloodlines. Castlevania Bloodlines.
We'll
Oh,
also
wow.
continue
That's pretty
adding
good.
more
Shining
Nintendo
Force?
64 games such as
Majora's
The Legend
Mask.
of Zelda: Majora's Mask and F-Zero.
F-Zero. Yo, if
as
that
well
is
as other
online.
Nintendo 64 and Genesis games going
Pokemon
forward.
Snap. Yep. F-Zero GX. Hey, there's Kirby. Paper Mario. Banjo.
Furthermore, we've
How are they
prepared
getting
Nintendo
Banjo on
64
there?
and Genesis controllers to ensure the games can be played with the same style
Okay,
controls
there's the 64
from their
controller.
original releases.
And a Genesis. Oh, that's so weird.
Both can be used wirelessly.
Oh, that's so weird.
These controllers will be available for purchase by any Nintendo Switch Online member.
The Genesis controller is 50 as well? That
We
feels
hope you'll look
expensive.
forward to this new membership plan.
That just means,
Nintendo
I guess because they
Switch
have to pay
Online
Sega?
plus expansion
I don't
pack.
know.
Let's see a few more Nintendo Switch headlines.
How did Banjo get in there? They make that deal with Microsoft?
There's plenty to play in these collections.
Wait, does that mean GoldenEye could get in there too?
Cyberpunk meets fantasy in this 3-game collection of cult classic RPGs.
Things are
As
happening.
a Shadowrunner mercenary, you'll explore a dystopian future where magic has reawakened and fantasy creatures have come back to life. Immersive branching narratives, skill-based character growth, and gripping turn-based tactical combat await in Shadowrun Trilogy, launching on Nintendo Switch next year. The perpetual struggle against Count Dracula
Oh, there it
continues.
is. What? How is
Castlevania
this
Advance
what?
Collection brings together 4 classic Castlevania games with deathly beautiful graphics and hauntingly epic music.
How is this part of the,
Rewind,
like the...
quick save, and button mapping features will also ramp up your fight against evil. All regional versions of each game, as well as a gallery mode with never-before-seen artwork, are included. Castlevania
Konami didn't
Advanced
mess it up.
Collection launches on Nintendo Switch later today. An almighty classic
Oh,
returns.
that's getting downloaded immediately. That's later today? Immediately.
The classic Super NES game ActRaiser returns on Nintendo Switch, now remastered in HD. As the Lord of Light and Almighty God, only you can save mankind from the forces of Tanzra, the Lord of Dark. You'll wage war in 2 phases. First, strike down monsters in the side-scrolling action phase to liberate the lands from the grasp of evil. Master swordsmanship and magic to vanquish all who stand in your path. Then, cultivate the lands you've liberated in the world-building creation phase. It's up to you to decide which structures will be destroyed to make way for new ones, creating a flourishing civilization. As you do so, your powers will increase, giving you an edge in both phases. Alternate between the original and rearranged versions of the beloved soundtrack and enjoy brand new music. New stages and new boss battles also await. ActRaiser Renaissance descends onto Nintendo Switch later today.
All right, things are happening here. There's a lot of stuff happening.
A new chapter is about to unfold.
Deltarune. Oh, is this a chapter 2? Chapter 2, yeah. It's already out on PC. I guess they just... Huh. Interesting. Hot Wheels, yeah, that's coming out in September. Oh boy, it's been. Man, I'm gonna have to grab that Castlevania Advanced Collection quick. There's a lot of stuff happening here. There's a lot of stuff happening right now.
There are still a few
Direct.
more announcements in today's Nintendo Direct.
Koizumi-san.
Oh, Miyamoto-san.
This has been a pretty good show so far.
What brings you in?
I wanted to make an announcement, so I was hoping I could step in.
Oh, of course.
It hasn't been anything like
Hi everyone,
massive.
I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. We previously announced that I have been working with the Hollywood movie studio Illumination and its CEO and producer Chris Meledandri-san, who are known for movies like Despicable Me and Sing, in making a full-length animated Mario movie for the big screen. Today, I wanted to announce its theatrical release timing. Ta-da! The movie will be released in theaters in holiday 2022. The release date for North America is on December 21st, and we'll be announcing release dates for Japan, Europe, and other regions at a later timing. It'll be a while longer until we can share a glimpse of Mario in action on the big screen. But today, I also wanted to reveal our key cast members who will be voicing Mario and his friends in the movie. First, of course, is Mario, who will be played by Chris Pratt. He's so cool. Mario will be talking a lot in the movie.
Oh,
please look forward to Mario as performed by the very talented Chris-san. Next, Princess Peach will be played by Anya Taylor-Joy. I can't wait to see a very spirited Princess Peach. Mario's little brother, Luigi, will be played by Charlie Day. I'm excited for you to see this timid sibling appear on screen. Bowser will be
They have
played by
Jack
the
Black
one
by
and only
Bowser.
Jack Black. I'm expecting
why
a
not?
monster performance by Jack's son. The comedian Keegan-Michael Key will be playing Toad. I'm looking forward to great comedic moments. Even though this is a Mario movie, Donkey Kong
How
will
is-
also be making an appearance. He will be played by Seth Rogen.
They have Seth Rogen.
I'm eager for you
As
to see a
Donkey
humorous Donkey Kong by Seth's son.
Oh boy.
And of course, Charles Martinet, who has voiced Mario and many more Nintendo characters in our games over the years, is also involved and will be appearing in surprise cameos in the movie. We also have more incredible talent joining the film to play some of our other beloved characters. That is all I can share with you today about the Mario movie. This is a very collaborative project between Illumination and Nintendo. We've all been coming up with all sorts of ideas, and I myself am enjoying a creative process that is a little bit different from making games. It may be a while until we can share more updates, but I hope you'll look forward to it. Koizumi-san, back to you.
Please look forward to Mario's adventure jumping into the world of motion pictures. Next, we'd like to show you this.
That's an interesting section there for the direct. Splatoon 3. All right, there we go. We got a release date on this. You got a release date on it? I think it's been a solid direct overall. Yeah, they have a lot of good announcements. Nothing like ridiculous over the
Hello,
top.
everyone.
But
I'm a
some pretty good
researcher from
announcements.
the Squid Research Lab. I've been meticulously studying the mysterious squids that can transform into humanoid form. What you just saw was the latest research footage from Splatoon 3. Allow me to share a bit of what we know so far. Splatoon 3 takes place in Splatsville. It's known as the City of Chaos. Centered around Splatsville are the Splatlands, a place long inhabited by advanced sea creatures such as squids and octopuses. Buildings spanning several generations are crammed into the city, creating its distinctive culture. In the Splatlands, turf war appears to be a popular activity. Its basic rules are unchanged. 2 4-player teams compete against each other to ink the most area. However, the trend seems to have undergone a major shift, with the existence of new main and special weapons confirmed in the footage. In the latter portion of the footage, we were able to observe activities from Story Mode, the single-player campaign.
Return of the mammalians.
Meaning the reappearance of mammals, appears to be the theme of story mode this time around. What could this possibly mean in a world where all mammals, except for 2 cats, have vanished? It appears that there's still a lot to uncover. But we'll continue with our research and keep you updated once more results become available. Please look forward to more Splatoon 3. Updates to come.
Okay.
See you next time.
No release date still on that.
So, what did you think? Splatoon 3, taking place in a new world, is scheduled to release in 2022. Please look forward to future updates. Okay, this is the last trailer we have to show you today. Please take a look.
Okay, so this should be Bayonetta 3, right? Oh, wait.
HQ 接敵した距離50対象は北東に向かって移動中遅れこちら本部了解した作戦を開始せよ了解打撃用意撃て対戦車砲用意撃てHQ 対象は無傷効果は見られない理解し効果は見られない
Wait, is this a new app? This they cannot like. This has to be Bayonetta 3. Okay, good. I was about to say this has to be Bayonetta 3. All right.
Bad boy. It seems I'm unfashionably late, but I'm ready to give you everything you want.
I thought they were about to announce Astral Chain 2. Oh, okay, so we have gameplay too. All right, very good. Gameplay? I wonder if we get a release date for this. Or is it 2022? It looks good. They're like massive monsters fighting each other. Like Godzilla monsters. Looks good. $2022? Okay. That's what we were kind of expecting. Oh, ominous.
What you just saw was the latest trailer for Bayonetta 3. We announced this game in 2017, and we thank you for your patience. This game will launch next year. We hope you look forward to Bayonetta's new encounters. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
All right. There we go. So that was the Nintendo Direct for September 23rd. Okay. That was their fall Direct. Looking up and down this game. They actually announced a lot here. It got to a point where they were going through their... Yeah, it got to the point where they were just going through their, like, their showcase. They were just showing game after game after game. It was getting kind of hard to keep up. For the most part, they had fairly solid announcements throughout. Like, they didn't have any period where it was like 15 to 20 minutes of just nothing really happening or smaller games. Let's see. The big reveals that I have written down here. Let's go through these. What did everyone think about the Direct? Because I thought it was above average overall based on what they showed here. They didn't have... You know what's interesting? I'm noticing this now. They didn't have like a Mario or a Zelda franchise here. Well, I mean, they had Mario Superstars. I mean, like a Mario Odyssey, something like that, right? Nothing like that. They had Splatoon, which Splatoon for Nintendo is up there in terms of their overall like franchises. B, A-, A, B+, B, 8 out of 10. I think people are going to be fairly happy with this Direct overall. I would say it was above. I'd say it's above. I mean, it's definitely solid. I think it's a bit above average for them just because they actually had quite a few announced here. The one disappointment is that there was no GTA Trilogy. I think that would have been really cool to see in a Direct just because of Rockstar and Nintendo actually, you know, showing something here. I'm looking up and down the list of games. And yeah, I think it was pretty good. I do wonder if they had a Smash character here, the final one, and it was a big deal, if that would have put it like well over the top for people. Like if Sora was announced here along with all this other stuff, would that make this an A for a lot of people? It's B+. Okay. B+, A. I see some C's in there too. I don't really see any D's or F's, so I would say most likely people are going to be happy. I mean, Castlevania Advanced Collection's out today. Here's my only issue with this. Konami didn't mess this up. I'm shocked. They didn't mess it up. You know what? We'll go down the list here. Hold on. Let me go down the list here and I'll get some thoughts on this. Let me go here and let's do this. Okay, you guys can see me now, right? All right, good. Okay, so we just got done the Direct. It's about 40 minutes or so, maybe a little longer, about 40 minutes. Let's talk about some of this immediate reactions. Okay, I see you guys in the chat here as well. Immediate reactions. Looking up and down the list that Nintendo had here, I did highlight some of the bigger ones that they did. And there were a lot. Like I said, there were so many here that I started to have a harder time keeping up with everything. And we'll get more information as we go along for some of this here, specifically the Nintendo Switch Online aspect. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. That's an expansion. Summer 2022. Makes complete sense. Monster Hunter Rise has sold very well. And remember, it is going to be coming to PC as well. I think next year, I believe. So it makes sense they'd want to have an expansion as well done for a game that is probably going to be crossing the 10 million mark easily. Most likely get up to there to where Monster Hunter World is. Mario Party Superstars. That's coming out end of October, about a month from now. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that because it's pulling from the boards from like the Nintendo 64 era when people really liked Mario Party. They showed Voice of Cards. That's from Square. I don't really know what to think of that because it looked like a tabletop card game with RPG elements. It's probably a specific group that's really going to like that. Disco Elysium Final Cut. We heard about this coming out. This is one of those situations. It's out October 12th, but the physical copy isn't out until early 2022. So it's like, do you buy it now and then buy it again for physical, or do you just wait for physical? Like, that's tough. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pass. That's they're gonna, I guess, add the next wave to it October 29th. They showed some of it. Chocobo GP. This looks like very close anyway to like Final Fantasy Mario Kart from what they were showing. I don't know. It seemed very, very similar to it. I mean, I know we've had like Chocobo Racing before in the past, but that's coming out 2022. Final Smash character. That is October 5th, 2 weeks from now then. That's going to be the final Sakurai Presents. And I mean, they doubled down. There will be no more updates for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is going to be it. So Sakurai is basically going to get the floor to himself on this one. He'll present the last character, which you assume it's going to be a big character if they're doing this. So we'll see. I mean, that way he has like 40 minutes to an hour even to just go over all this and maybe even talk about his history with Smash, because this very well could be the last time that Sakurai has one of these presentations overall. Like, it could be the last time we see Sakurai for a long time then. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I think this might be the highlight of the Direct. I don't know, because they did show Bayonetta 3. This might be the highlight of the Direct for me as something that I think was needed for the Kirby series in general. We had Kirby come out. That was in 2018, Star Allies. It was a game that I think a lot of people, like, who are fans of Kirby, were okay with, but I don't feel like it was a very memorable Kirby game. Like, I think a lot of people forgot that game even came out. And a lot of it's because it was a very safe Kirby game. This looks like them taking a massive leap with the Kirby franchise into a 3D Kirby game that, I mean, kind of leans into the idea of like what we see with Mario, with like a Mario Odyssey or something like that. That's coming out spring 2022. And this is me being excited for a Kirby game again, which it's been a little while for that, just because I see them coming from like a mile away, it seems like, whenever they start talking about a Kirby game. Oh, another 2D Kirby game. All right. Animal Crossing, Direct in October, free content in November. People who are still in Animal Crossing, I fell out of Animal Crossing, but people who are still playing Animal Crossing heavily, I have seen talk about the lack of content. It appears that they are going to do a content blitz here in November, and they have to have an entire Direct to go over in October. That makes a ton of sense. It's their best-selling game. Like I know Mario Kart technically is, but like, brand new game for the Switch, Animal Crossing is it. You got to support it. Mario Golf update out today. Koopa Troopa, Ninja, and 2 new courses. This is what Nintendo's doing now. They're just adding on to their games. It feels kind of live servicey because, I mean, they probably could have packed a lot of this stuff into the game at launch instead, but they're just kind of tacking it on as they go along here. I'm going to jump down across a few of these because they had Disney Magical World 2, Knights of the Old Republic, that's November 11th, Dying Light 2 Cloud version, February 4th, that has a demo, and then Dying Light Platinum Edition that is native on the Switch, October 19th. That might confuse some people. I understand Dying Light 2 is a game that's had some development issues in general, so maybe going the cloud version is better for them to do right now, and they weren't going to be porting the game over fully to the Switch anyway, so at least the cloud version gives people access to it. We've seen this with games like Control and Hitman, and I guess people seem okay with it. I'm not sure there, but Dying Light Platinum Edition, that's at least native on the Switch. Dying Light is a fun game, so we'll see how that turns out performance-wise and all of this. Triangle Strategy, that's March 4th. They dropped Project. It's just called Triangle Strategy now. We figured that would happen because that's what they did with Project Octopath Traveler, but it's still such a strange name. The game itself looks awesome, but like Triangle Strategy is such a... Maybe it's because it's just so straightforward. It's like you take the part of the genre, which is strategy RPG, and you just put it in the title. It's just strategy. It's okay. March 4th, though. We got a date, 2022. Metroid Dread got a spotlight, which Metroid Dread looks fantastic. It looks good enough to sell 3 million units. 3,000,001, actually. That way Sean can put it over the top with his 2 copies that he buys. Nintendo Switch Online, this is probably going to be the highlight for a lot of people because they're finally bringing in Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis. So we got 2 systems that people were not necessarily expecting, and we didn't get the one that people were expecting, which was Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Instead, Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis are heading to the service, and it's a new tier. This is something that I had been speculating about for a while now. And remember, I said Nintendo is probably looking at this $20 a year, and they see these games stacking up. There's over 100 of them now. Nintendo, Super Nintendo. They're probably thinking, wow, that is very cheap in terms of the price for what we're adding on. I'm curious if this is a $10 jump to $30 a year, or because it's 2 systems and one of them isn't even from Nintendo, they may get $40 a year. We'll find out. They said that's happening late October. And I want to point out that they do have Banjo-Kazooie in there. That is a rare game. I have to go back and look at the overall titles that they have. They showed Ocarina of Time, of course. Majora's Mask apparently is coming at some point. Mario Tennis. So again, I have to look at the overall list of games. I think something like Mario Kart is going to be awesome if they have that online, which I assume they will. And then they're also going to have the controllers. Sega Genesis it's interesting they went to Sega and they managed to make that happen, but Sega's strange as it is now, so they're probably just like, yeah, have it all. That's fine. Castlevania Bloodlines, though. That's in there. They're calling it the expansion pack. Great marketing idea. I think that is a good title for this new tier rather than calling it Nintendo Switch Online Gold or Platinum. Go back, get the expansion pack title that you used with like the Nintendo 64, bring it up with the 64. The controllers, they have a Nintendo 64 controller and a Genesis controller. Completely expected some sort of new controller to happen because we had the FCC filing. $50 each. Does that... I can't tell if that feels expensive for the Genesis controller. Maybe not the 64 controller because there's more going on there. They're both wireless, which is fine. I'm curious about the stick, right? Like the Nintendo 64 joystick. To see how they maybe modernize it a bit when it comes to the mechanics. Because that stick did wear out pretty quickly, or it was just strange when it came to the overall travel distance for it. Shadowrun Trilogy was shown. Castlevania Advanced Collection. It's out later today. I'm going to go ahead and actually buy it as soon as it pops up, and we'll be going back through those. It appears that Konami did not mess this up. The one thing they probably messed up, though, was that there's no physical copy that I've heard of so far. It wasn't at least announced in Direct, but from what they showed, it looks like exactly what I wanted, which was like the advanced Castlevania games from the Game Boy Advance. So that's great. They showed ActRaiser. I was kind of all over the place at this point, trying to get notes and everything. It looks like they're doing a remake for ActRaiser. I'll have to look more into that one. Deltarune Chapter 2. We just had that release actually on PC and Mac. So it's good to see that. I guess they're also getting it out on the Switch here pretty quickly. In what was one of the most out of left field sections, Miyamoto showed up on screen to talk about the Mario movie and explained to us that people like Chris Pratt is going to be voicing Mario, and Seth Rogen is going to voice Donkey Kong, and then several others. And it's going to be an interesting movie. This is what I'll say. I was already curious how they were going to make an entire Mario movie with a full plot that's going to go on for like 90 minutes. Now I'm really interested with the people they're using for the voices, so we'll see there. Splatoon 3, that got an update. Still no release date, though. Set for 2022 still, but nothing when it comes to a solid release date yet. However, more updates are coming. Okay, they closed it out with the big game that I basically said they have to have here because it is getting concerning, Bayonetta 3. It started off with a standard cutscene, but then they did go into gameplay, which was important here. I feel like because it's been so long and there are so many concerns around things like Platinum in general right now with what they show with Babylon's Fall, which doesn't look great, they decided to actually jump into gameplay. They transitioned out of the cutscene and showed off some of the game itself, which is great. It looked good. It looked like Bayonetta. Looked good. They had these large creatures fighting each other. It looks like they're going to go for those really big, epic moments and all of this, which is great. And 2022, they doubled down on, look, it's coming out 2022. Kind of has to, I feel like, because that's 5 years potentially if it comes out at the end of 2022, since the game was announced at the Video Game Awards in 2017. It's been a while. They at least played into it and said that she's fashionably late. So they're very self-aware of how long it took to show the game again and give us a release year for it. So overall, though, looking up and down the list here, no major brand new Zelda game, no major brand new Mario game, but Nintendo grabbed franchises like Kirby, took that in a new direction with a 3D Kirby game. And of course, they continue to put the spotlight on Metroid Dread, which is correct. They need to do that because we need to have Sean play Balan Wonderworld. And they updated the Switch Online with N64 and Genesis and dubbed it the expansion pack. That is good marketing from Nintendo. Castlevania Advance Collection, Splatoon 3. I would say looking over this, it was a solid Direct. I was looking at the comment section. People seemed okay with it. I was seeing a lot of B's getting thrown around, some C+, A-. I think that's kind of where I am with this one. I think I'm going to put it in as a solid B. I feel like if they had a massive announcement where people are going to look at this and say, wow, that was huge. Sora's going to Smash. Something really big to put it over the top. I feel like that would have really put it up there to like B+ A status. But really what we ended on wasn't necessarily a big announcement. It was relief. Like, people were looking at that saying, okay, Bayonetta 3 is all right. And it looks like it's set for release next year. It wasn't just hype or massive excitement. It was just like, okay, it looks good and it's coming out. So not bad from Nintendo though, overall. So I guess let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below, what you thought of the Nintendo Direct for September 23rd, Nintendo's big major fall Direct. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right. That was pretty good. Oh, now it's almost dinner time. Yeah, I think people online. I haven't checked Twitter yet. Okay, Twitter's usually the tell. You can usually see there, right? So let me go back and look at the super chats. I was doing the video there and I didn't get a chance to see, so apologies. Let me go back through. Castlevania is $20? No, it's not. Castlevania is not $20. Hold on. If Castlevania is $20, that is a fantastic pickup. ActRaiser is $30. Well, that sounds disappointing. Let me see. Oh, the Blockbuster. The Blockbuster sale is also live. We talked about it in Newswave yesterday. Yeah, that was it looked like it was me in Europe. There were some pretty good deals in there because there was a lot of Nintendo first party stuff. Maybe we'll go over that too. Castlevania. Is it on the store yet or no? It is. It's $20. Wow. Okay. I can completely recommend that then at $20. Absolutely. That is a fantastic pickup there. Yes. Definitely grab that at $20. Let me go in here. I want to get some super chat. I want to grab the super chats here to make sure I get those. Okay. Yeah, you think there's going to be I hope there's a physical copy for it, because a $20 digital tends to lead into like a $30 physical copy. Oh, man, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, I want that physical copy. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I think I have it here. Hayden said big announcement, eShop music update, Shadow Drop. You know, that's something you didn't notice you miss until it's like completely gone. Like the Wii had some awesome music. Scott says, I listen to Newswave while starting work. Awesome Panda says free MVC 2. There were some talks that Disney and Capcom are aware of this right now, and they may actually be working on it. We'll see. Salty says, I really want a new Rhythm Heaven game, but WarioWare just came out, so it's probably too soon. Christoph, no message there. Thanks, Christoph. Daniel says, fixing Xbox One S, stuck on an endless green screen. If I factory reset it works once, then freezes at home screen, update screen, then won't work. Ooh. You might have to... Hard drive, possibly? That's tough. Symphonic Balance says, my backlog is getting smaller over here. Fluke says, Balan Wonderworld's calling for Sean. Andy Ackerman says, if every one of your subs tonight bought Dread twice, we could almost guarantee RGT will have new content. I think Metro Dread's going to do it. Lotan says, big W for Nate the Hate. Yeah, Nate did say N64 and people were doubting him, so just going to put that out there. Urban says, Banjo means perfect dark as possible. Yes, Banjo also means GoldenEye could be possible. I'm just putting that out there. They have to get... Who's the other? Oh, I have to double check. I don't want to say the wrong name, but there's another company involved in that. Benjamin says, where is DK64 at? Good question. Hey, it's one they could add. Will says Nintendo won E3. Liam says it was okay, but almost all first-party stuff was DLC. Low10 says 2022 is so packed for video games, I literally don't know how I can play them all. Do you think sales will go down because of this? No, I mean, even if you just throw a ton of games out there, which I do believe 2022 is just going to be a massive year in general for games because a lot of games, remember, got pushed from 2021 into 2022. It's just going to be mayhem either way from all companies, to be honest. Justin's no message here. Thanks, Justin. Cool says, C+, competent and solid. Strange announcing Dying Light 2 cloud version, but no footage of Dying Light that's coming out. Yeah, that's true. The Dying Light thing is a little strange. Near says solid A+, Kirby, Bayo, and Nintendo Switch Online. Just great. If you're a Kirby fan, you're probably really excited right now. Mig says Nintendo is a big tease. Master Chief for Smash. Where are Game Boy games for Nintendo Switch Online? What about that ActRaiser remake and Castlevania Advance? ADR says waiting on 8BitDo to re-release their N64 controller, N64 mod kits. Martin says the Smash character being announced separately means it won't be an ultra top tier. We'll see. Yeah, it's really going to be Sakurai's final big event. So who knows? Maybe he has something cool in store. Tony says no Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, but Sega Genesis. We already have the Sega Genesis collection. N64 is a nice touch, though. It was just odd. Enjoy the channel. Mark says, why would Nintendo sell a Sega 3 button for $50 when you can buy a licensed retro bit 6 button for $22.99? I think it has to do with licensing with Sega, because Sega is going to get part of that money for those accessories that sell with the Genesis controller. Nick says, I'm still waiting for a new Punch-Out for the Switch. That'd be pretty cool. Armin's Tech Talk says, are they saving the next Mario game for Switch Pro, Switch 2? It could end up being a launch title for the next Switch. You never know. Shinru says, I'll send you some shrimp and chicken stir fry with brown rice for dinner. Hopefully enough for the family. Take care. I don't know what I'm in for dinner. Maybe burgers. Burgers are always good, right? Whatevs News says, what was the best Direct in recent memory? Probably the Direct, and it's hilarious to think about now, but probably the Direct when the Switch first came out, and they had like Metroid Prime 4 and stuff in there. That's probably the one that a lot of people remember, even though Metroid Prime 4 still is not out. Otherwise, you can go all the way back to like the old days of the GameCube. They had some killer Directs back then. But those are like E3 showcases, I guess. Selene says, new Mario Kart Racer would have blew up the internet. Yeah. Marky Muck says, OJ here. OJ is not here. He's still on his vacation. Andy says Genesis means Dreamcast is pot. You never know. You know what? If we got to go up in tier a couple times to get the Dreamcast, people would pay for it. Kyle says, love your stuff. The Bayonetta 3 Astral Chain fake out with Lappy had me hyped. I had to stop for a minute. I'm like, there's no way. They can't do an Astral Chain 2 before they do something with Bayonetta 3. Fried says, it's MGM that was also involved, GoldenEye. MGM is soon to be owned by Amazon. Thanks, Fried. All right. I think that is everything. Oh, wait. Hold on. Edward says, I hope it's Chief, but I doubt Nintendo and 343 collabed in time for being the final character. That would be big for Halo Infinite if you think about it, though. Just to drop that in there, that'd get people pretty hyped for Halo even further. Why not? Be good marketing. Rabbit says, can we start talking stretch goals? Like if Metroid is 3.25, he has to cosplay as Balan during the review. And if it's 3.5, he has to write some fan fiction for a sequel. since we're not getting one. That would be funny. You have to take that up with RGT if he ever decides to stream again. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it here, guys. Thank you for coming out. It was pretty fun. I had a good time with the Direct. I think it was overall pretty solid Direct. Liquid says, watching you for a while, you lost a good amount of weight, got toned. How? Thanks. I watched what I ate, then I decided to go to the gym. That helped. All right. Thanks, guys, for watch. Oh, can you eat 900 burritos in bed like Nico? Avocado? Marky Muck? I don't think I can eat 900 burritos. That is a lot. All right. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. We had fun. GoldenEye. Hey, Kret, you know what?